Jacob Fry appealing for peace while also calling again for criminal charges over the death of George Floyd in police custody.
And in believing in our city, we must believe that we can be better than we have been.
The city's police chief says outside groups may be to blame for the violence that erupted last night. He fired the 4 officers involved in the fatal confrontation. The FBI and the Justice Department are investigating Floyd's death. America is listening to Fox News.
I'm giving Jeb's basement renovations 1 star. He kept asking me what's behind the walls down there. I'm like, why? What do you know?
No matter how hard you work for your small business, online reviewers will find something to complain about.
And then he's like, you can trust me with the job. And I'm all like, trust?
And while Progressive can't save you from these trolls, we can help you save money on commercial, auto, and business insurance.
Yeah, he charged me less than he said he would, which is lying.
Get a quote online today at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliated and third-party insurers.
We're all in uncharted territory, looking for ways to support our communities. At Dell Technologies, we're making sure small businesses have the right tech solutions. Dell Technologies advisors are here for you, from helping small businesses stay connected and productive while working remotely with Windows 10 and Microsoft Teams, to rapidly deploying remote work solutions that limit upfront costs with Dell Financial Services. We're standing by you every step of the way. Call 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
The president's feud with Twitter is turning more attention to his claims about mail-in voting, centering in part on one California county.
White House spokeswoman Kayleigh McEnany says LA County had more people registered to vote than voting eligible adults living there. And she says that opens up all mail-in voting situations to fraud. In a legal settlement, LA did remove inactive voters from the rolls who'd maybe died or moved. But Governor Gavin Newsom says 3 intensive studies found no increase of fraud relating to mail-in voting.
George W. did a 5-year review through the Department of Justice. They found no major voter fraud. In fact, no fraud of any meaningful impact.
Newsom signs an order directing counties to send registered voters mail-in ballots this fall in case the virus is still active. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Both the president and his spokeswoman have used absentee voting and say they support it when it's needed, but are opposed to the mass mailing of ballots to everyone. Special delivery from a pop star, dropping more new music and featuring an international collaboration.
Lady Gaga released another song from her forthcoming Chromatica album, which will officially be out at midnight. This time, the superstar teamed up with K-pop sensation Blackpink, the biggest K-pop girl group in the world. I'm hot on the outside, but if you give me... Sour Candy was released early Thursday. It follows her 2 other pre-release songs from the album Stupid Love and Rain on Me, her collaboration with Ariana Grande, which was released last week. The record also features contributions from Elton John. Blackpink are slated to release a new album later this year. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
Heading into the close, the Dow's been up over 100 points on Lisa Brady. And this is Fox News.
Thanks for listening to KHTS AM 1220, Canyon Country, California. K260CO 98.1 FM, Santa Clarita, California.
If you have a business problem, if someone doesn't honor their agreement and you need an aggressive attorney with over 27 years experience, the law office of Peter Bronstein has helped partners resolve disputes, franchisees resolve disputes, and other business owners who have a challenge. Let the law office of Peter Bronstein take your stress away. Visit lacorporateattorney.com. Don't wait too long and lose your rights. Solve your business challenge problem today.
Visit lacorporateattorney.com.
We all know sometimes people lose their way. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, the Way Out Recovery SCV may have the answers you've been waiting for. The Way Out is the premier intensive outpatient treatment center serving Santa Clarita. Asking for help is the first step. Call The Way Out today, 661-296-4444. That's 296-4444 for a private free assessment. The Way Out is an accredited, affordable outpatient program that accepts most insurance. Call us at 661-296-4444 or check us out online at thewayoutrecoveryscv.com. Quit battling with yourself. Ask The Way Out for help today.
David Cantrell and Fred Arnold of American Family Funding joined KHTS to discuss and shed some light on how the coronavirus impacts Santa Clarita residents financially.
Okay, so Fred, people are sheltering in place or just staying home, but they're thinking about interest rates and they're thinking about their own mortgages. What can they do right now?
You're probably one of the $11 trillion in loans out there, mortgage loans out there. Half of them could easily refinance because interest rates have dropped rather dramatically. As rates have gone up just a little bit in the short term, call your mortgage professional right away, your community mortgage professional, and do a quick interview. Do a quick analysis. When interest rates get to here, or here, does it make sense to refinance? Does it make sense to take cash out to cover some debt, to cover some college funds? Prepare for the future, because the future is going to get better without a doubt, number one. Some do it online, and we do have an application where you can do it all online. So if your mortgage professional is busy, ask them, do you have an application online? But it's no substitute to have a one-on-one conversation with your professional. Does it make sense to refinance? So that's the first thing you could do. The second thing is prepare your paperwork. Get your taxes completed. Know where your W-2s are. Know where your financial documents are. During these challenging economic times of uncertainty, if you, instead of cleaning out your closet, maybe clean out your financial records and know where everything is.
Right.
That would be very, very helpful. And last but not least, Dave, when you send information to your mortgage professional, make sure they send a secure link to send documents back so that the information, your private information, is not compromised.
Absolutely. That's very, very important. And we do have that link here in American Family Funding where it comes over encrypted and completely safe. So.
Absolutely. And just give us a call, or your mortgage professional will get that done.
Right.
Hey, it's Tori with your hometown station weather. A hot one today with highs in the 90s, overnight lows in the 60s. For anything and everything Santa Clarita Valley related, including the latest on COVID-19 here in the Santa Clarita area, go to hometownstation.com.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
The following is sponsored programming and does not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of KHTS or its ownership.
Welcome. You're listening to the Ask Brien radio show on KHTS 1220 and 98.1 FM because my engineer got me this button and it's called and he likes to play it so often. Anyway, you're listening to the Ask Brien radio show. Ask Brien spelled with an E, AskBrien, as part of the Ask Brien network, which is ask.com. Ask Brien was started, if you've never listened to us before, the Ask Brien network is basically a network teaches people how to solve business problems. And they can solve business problems in a number of ways. If you go to askbrien.com, you'll see that there are two options. One is you can ask the business community. So a dry cleaner in Nebraska can ask a dry cleaner in Massachusetts, hey, I have this problem. Somebody left a fur coat. How do you handle it? Now, these are legal issues, but they also are technically industry issues. So if you have an industry question or an industry problem, you'll ask another business owner in the business community on askbrien.com, and they will try to solve that problem for you. But also, there's a second part of the Ask Brien website, and the second part of the Ask Brien site is for experts. And to become an expert, that is based on a category: marketing, management, sales, accounting, human resources, any type of business subject matter. You can apply to become an expert. To qualify to become an expert, you need approximately 10,000 hours. That was determined based on you working 50 weeks a year with 2 weeks vacation. 40 hours a week is 2,000 hours times 5 years. If you have 5 years experience, you typically will qualify to become an expert, but there's no guarantee whether or not you will become an expert. If you do qualify, you then will be allowed to post videos, blogs, webinars, and be placed on our webinar calendar on the national AskBrien.com calendar system, which allows people through Google to schedule and listen to webinars. Now, we have an engineer. And Mr. Engineer, why, oh why, are we spelling Brien with an E?
Well, you know why, Brian? It's because E stands for a number of things that are really, really good words, such as the E stands for empathy, stands for effort, excellence, of course, experts, because you need to be an expert on this show. And then there's my personal favorite, the engineer part, just because, I am the engineer. So just a little personal favorite on that one.
But are you acting as an engineer? Like in real life, you're really just, a bum off the street and you just like pretend that you're an engineer? Is it automated, like artificial intelligence, or you're actually really working there?
I'm always working, always the engineer working.
Now, just so you know, sometimes we may make fun of the engineer, and he likes to play around, so we're not being attacking him personally. And
of course not.
Having said that, we have a very special show today, and we have a very special guest. We don't have any co-hosts today because we wanted to dedicate the entire hour to our special guest. And his name is Sam Malay. Sam, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Wow. Sam, what is your background? I mean, I understand that you currently you're a lawyer. I understand that, and my condolences. I guess someone has to be a lawyer. I'm a lawyer, so I guess I can understand that concept. But for the show, question for you: what is your background?
Sure. So I'm a young attorney. Pretty much, I started off when on my own, a young lawyer who didn't know anything at all. I didn't have any clients. I didn't know how to get clients. But what I was good at always was like social media, marketing, technical stuff like that. So I basically started learning about how do I bring clients to my law firm. And the way that I learned, there was this amazing book by Tim Ferriss called The 4-Hour Workweek. Amazing book. If you guys haven't read it, it exposed me to 3 principles. First is virtual. That means pretty much if you're running an online business that's completely virtual, that you're not tied to any physical location. You could travel the world and still run your business that way. Second is automated. That means once you get those systems up and running, then it's pretty much operating on its own. And the third part is scalable. That means one action that you do affects and impacts hundreds and thousands of people, just like how this radio show is scalable. It's one act, one recording, but that could be exposed and translated to a lot of different listeners. So I started loving these principles, and I started applying it for my law firm. And now fast forward 5 years later, I've been able to apply these techniques to be able to serve over 4,000 clients in the last 5 years. And I run it. The best part is I run it completely remotely. It's completely automated. That means it's completely running on its own, and it's fully scalable. That means every day it continues to grow, and it only grows from this point on.
So basically, with the lockdown, you were like, hey, I've been in lockdown for 10 years or 5 years, however long you've been doing this. You've been in lockdown the whole time because you've been operating remotely. This is like, hey, I'm doing it. I've been doing it for a couple of years. What's the big deal?
Exactly. Yeah, I've been pretty much running my law firm from my bedroom, and I was kind of preaching, and I was even praising these techniques of, hey, you should run your law firm remotely from your bedroom, and it's totally possible. And then this whole pandemic happened, where that kind of became a reality, and it was like a forced reality. Now I got exposed to so many attorneys who kind of have to run their law firm that way, and now I'm getting those students who need to apply these techniques to their law firm.
And these techniques that we're going to discuss in a short while, all these techniques, they can apply to lawyers, but they can also apply to other businesses. So there may be other types of workers. Obviously, a dentist or a doctor, you have to actually see the person. But there are many, many other things where you can do these things remotely. So therefore, if there are people that are staying at home based on the coronavirus or want to expand their business into that respect, they can do that. These principles are not only just for lawyers. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, these principles are applied to across anytime that you need to serve your customers or clients. All these principles will apply completely, again, remotely, completely, it could be automated and scalable.
So, I want to go over those things, and I may be jumping the gun, but some people out there have never heard of the word funnel, other than the fact that, hey, if they've got a lot of tomato sauce and they want to put it into a smaller cup, they get a funnel, and they understand that. But funnel has a technological word, and I wanted you to go over that before we go over these principles. So what exactly is a funnel?
Funnel is a system where you're able to use to get customers and clients online. It's just a very systematic way of how do you take people who need something from you, either a product or service, and how do you get them to the finish line, which is when they purchase your product or service. So the funnel is just a system that you're taking people, again, who are interested, and you're taking them a multi-step process to get them to take action with you.
Now, when you talk about remotely, what does that mean? Because you mentioned remotely, and then we're going to go over all three of these in depth, but first part you mentioned was remotely. Now, remotely obviously means you don't need to be in the presence, but explain to the audience what you mean by remotely.
That means you're not attached to the time or place, to a certain time or place. So when it comes to time, that means you could pretty much, it means you have control of your time. You're not tied to a 9-to-5 schedule. The things that you do are pretty much, it's the input that you put in and the output that you get is not tied to a certain time. So you could work on your own hours. You could work as much as you want. You could, take some days off. It just gives you general control of time. The second part is control over place. So that means you're not tied to a physical location. You don't have to walk into an office to do your work. As long as you have your laptop, you could pretty much run your business. Actually, I tested this idea. I had this kind of concept, and I was actually going on a trip to Israel about 4 years ago, and it was my first time applying this. I'm like, okay, it sounds great, but let me actually apply it. And I was on this trip for 3 weeks, and all I had was my laptop, and I was still able to run my law firm completely from my laptop. And that really kind of, it is possible. That really was like a breakthrough for me.
Now, is this something you can do long term, or is this something that you can do for certain periods of time? Like, okay, I'm taking a 6-week trip or something, so I can do that now. Or is this something that, oh my God, you have to, you can do it, but you're basically going to, make a commitment that, hey, I can do this forever.
Yeah, definitely long term. Everything that you do when it comes to these things has to be sustainable. It's not just for temporarily. Yes, every decision, every business decision you make for yourself is laid on those foundations. So yes, completely long term.
Now, when you did it, do you have an office currently?
I do. I have 2 offices, but even with these 2 offices, I still would work from home. So I still have those offices set up in order to have some kind of in-house. But in the beginning, the first 3-4 years, I pretty much built completely off remote teams. So that means I have people from all over the world who work and do very specialized tasks for me. It was built on that foundation. But I still do have some physical offices. But even when I did have those offices, I still would work from home.
Now, how often do you go to the office currently?
Not often at all. Probably just once a month, just to check in, and that was even that was forced. So yeah, even if I wouldn't show up for a couple of months, it would still continue to run and operate.
Now, do you have any staff or no?
Yes, I do. So the office is more for them and not necessarily for me. So that means I could still keep track of everything that's going on from my bedroom.
And do people come to the office?
No. I never want to serve clients in person when it comes to my business because it's not scalable. The third rule, it doesn't really, if you have that one-to-one interaction in person, it takes away time from doing those actions where you could be creating those actions that serve many clients at the same time. So I refused to talk to clients on the phone. That was my own personal way of being scalable myself. And then also refused to have my office or my team members meet clients in person.
So 2 things, one of which is if people are not meeting you, okay, they're meeting you what, over the telephone, over Zoom, over FaceTime, or you're just talking to them on the telephone or through email, or typically what do you do on that area?
Ideally through email communication. That way I could talk to hundreds of people at the same time. That's the preferred way. If not, we also do offer consultations and phone conversations, and those conversations are they're being done by my team.
And clients do not have an issue with not seeing you in person or meeting you. They're perfectly happy doing it over the phone or through email?
Yes, absolutely. And I'll explain to you how and why. It's because ultimately what clients and customers care about is that you're able to do the work for them and do it properly and do it on time. So if you have past success of doing that, then your reviews become kind of like your proof that this is what you do, this is how you do it. And those reviews really play a huge part when you have an online business to convince people who don't see you in person or sometimes they don't even talk to you over the phone. They'll trust those reviews to want to trust you to be able to take out their credit card and pay for your services.
And that was the next question. So how do people pay you if they don't ever see you? So obviously I imagine it's credit card, but I guess you could do other ways too. I guess people can still pay by check or pay by PayPal or Venmo or Zelle or other methods. Is that correct? Or typically it's always a credit card?
Usually, yeah, you want to push for always the easiest way to collect the payment. Usually it's by credit card. If you start, offering money orders and checks and things like that, that really slows you down. So yeah, typically what I do is I create order forms or create applications where if somebody needs a service, I basically just direct them to the right page, getting them, hey, you need this, go there. You need this, go there. And I'm basically just directing traffic and making sure that people are going to the proper place.
Now, if you're working remotely, okay, it might be easy if you've had a staff and you have people working for you or that know you and have, know how you work. But I would guess that if you have a new employee or if you've had people that are not dedicated employees, that must be a little bit difficult because sometimes, when the boss is away, the mice may play is the old story. It's an old tradition, but I don't think it changes that much. How do you control, for instance, somebody's supposed to be there 9 to 5. I mean, I guess you can use time cards and verify that they're there, but how do you verify that they're doing their work or are they paying as much attention to you if you're there and can step into their office as opposed to, just calling them up and say, hey, listen, what's going on? Why didn't you do this? So how does that work?
Very good question. Yeah, very good question. And that's also very systematically created into the system, and that's done by having an onboarding protocol. That means in the beginning, when I started hiring some people, I kind of had this issue. Okay, well, I'm bringing in new staff. How do I train them? And the way to kind of resolve this issue is to create an onboarding protocol where I lay out everything about my company and all the instructions and all the tools and everything all the resources that a new employee will need will be on this one document. It's kind of like a training manual. Hey, when you come in, your first 2 days, all you're doing is reviewing this document, watching the videos, getting instructions, you're being introduced to other staff. That's all you're doing. And typically 95% of the training is just by sending this one document to the new employee, and that's it. No more conversation. If they have any questions, obviously they could ask us, but usually the onboarding protocol takes care of it, all the work.
Now, when you're hiring new employees, are you in the office for that, or that also is done remotely? Typically.
At this point, yeah, 95% of new members are remote workers. These are people from all over the world, actually, not just the U.S., who can help and do very specialized tasks. So I have, let's just say, a sales team. I have an administrative team. I have freelancers that do very specific parts of the marketing. And I have very specific freelancers for doing different parts of marketing. So I understand the power of specialization and having people do what they're good at. Just like Patty, the engineer, who's good at engineering, this is what he does. I have lots of those people who only do those specific tasks that they're good at and that they love doing. And that means they will do it long term. So as long as everybody's doing what they love and what they're good at, that's basically, I fill in my gaps in my company with those people.
Well, so that's a good question. You said that not everybody has to be present in the office. They can be remotely. My question is, your office probably is open. Let's just take typically, maybe your office is open 8 to 5 with some lunch breaks and some time off here and there. Well, that's and you're on the West Coast, so that's Pacific Standard Time. But what about people that, you may have somebody working in India, Australia, England, whatever. They have different hours. So how does that work? Or do you not take people foreign?
Yeah, I do. Actually, I do. Up front, I get their schedules that they're going to stick to, and I basically make sure that I know what their end goal is. What do they have to accomplish? And then they basically create a goal based on that. So let's just say when it comes to a sales team, they're going to have a goal is I would like to close 20 clients this month. So they create those goals, and then I have a very strict procedure with tracking. So they keep daily trackings of exactly how many people they talk to, how many people show up to the meetings, etc., and how many clients they close. And my job is once a week, I check those trackings, make sure they're around pace, and that they don't have any issues.
How do you issue a warning to somebody that's not present if they're not doing calls on?
So you kind of have to, you have to have some faith. You can't always, I'm a more of a hands-off, we're here for you. We're here to support you, but it really falls on employees. If they want to succeed, they have to, put in the work themselves. But for me, on my end, I'm doing my tracking and I'm checking on their work. If I need to have a conversation with them, I'll have a conversation with them. But I'm very quick to hire and quick to fire. So, it's all about your company is only as good as your team members. I understand when you're growing, the more that you matter, the less your company is worth. So all I'm trying to do is just surround myself with people who love doing that specialized task and making sure that they're doing it properly.
So we're going to be coming right back shortly. When we come back after the break, we're going to come back and Sam is going to explain to us how to use a funnel to create business and how to create a funnel so that you can actually get customers and get customers without even being present and customers just to come to you as opposed to you chasing those customers. We'll be right back. We're at KHTS 1220 and 98.1 FM.
The City of Santa Clarita is working closely with the Los Angeles County Department of Public Health to monitor the coronavirus COVID-19. On March 13th, the City of Santa Clarita issued a local emergency declaration in response to the coronavirus pandemic. Due to the stay-at-home order, the Santa Clarita events like Thursdays at Newhall and the Cowboy Festival have been put on hold for the safety of the community. For information, go to santa-clarita.com. For important updates, visit the emergency blog at santaclaritaemergency.com.
Olive Terrace Bar and Grill is the hottest new Mediterranean fusion restaurant in Santa Clarita with unique delicacies like seafood right off the boat, mouth-watering prime steaks, artesian sandwiches, delicious pastas, and tasty kebabs. Unwind on their cozy outdoor patio at their weekend champagne brunch. Full menu and weekly specials at oliveterracebarandgrill.com. Check out their full bar and happy hour daily specials in Valencia on Copper Hill and Newhall Ranch Road by LA Fitness. Olive Terrace Bar and Grill, delicious food seasoned with love.
Consumers Furniture is back open for your business. The safety of our community and our staff, above all, is most important to us. We will provide a safe and clean environment for you to find the perfect piece of furniture for your home. To help you with your purchase, we are offering 25% off your entire order or 24 months same as cash financing. And for our awesome essential workers, we will deliver locally your furniture free of charge. Consumers Furniture is located in the Center Point Shopping Center, below Sam's Club and Walmart.
I'm Christina DeBray, licensed marriage and family therapist, your Santa Clarita Valley trauma and grief specialist. The coronavirus and the new stay-at-home orders have changed our lives significantly. On behalf of KHTS 98.1 FM, AM 1220, hometownstation.com, here's a tip to help your children develop emotional self-awareness by teaching them to label their emotions. Ask them what the emotion feels like and where they feel it in their body. For example, it seems like you're feeling some anxiety right now. What's that like? Where do you feel it in your body? It's important to do this during all different kinds of emotional experiences, including happiness, calm, anger, and sadness. Stay safe, stay home, and let's flatten the curve. I'm Christina DeBray, licensed marriage and family therapist, your Santa Clarita Valley trauma and grief specialist.
If you have a business problem, if someone doesn't honor their agreement and you need an aggressive attorney with over 27 years experience, the Law Office of Peter Bronstein has helped partners resolve disputes, franchisees resolve disputes, and other business owners who have a challenge. Let the Law Office of Peter Bronstein take your stress away. Visit lacorporateattorney.com. Don't wait too long and lose your rights. Solve your business challenge problem today.
Visit lacorporateattorney.com.
Hometown, your hometown station.
Welcome. You're listening to KHTS 1220 and 98.1 FM with the engineer, Patty, who's over there, and our special guest, Sam Malay. We've been having a great show today, and Sam is basically explaining to us on the early part of the show how you can work remotely and how you can create a business and have that business remotely. Now we're going into the second session of our show, and we're going to explain to people how you can basically get business without a website. I mean, I never heard of such a thing in this day and age, that people can actually go online, get business, and you don't even need a website. And then I heard a word called funnel, and again, I thought it was tomato sauce and how you get tomato sauce into a smaller container, but no, that's not exactly it. Our guest is a specialist and an expert in basically telling people how to create a business, work remotely, and be able to get clients without going to the office, automating the entire system, and he's going to teach us how you can work without even having a website. So, Sam, that's the question. I don't have a website. I want to get business. What do I do?
So first, you need people, right? You need your dream clients and your dream customers. So there's two ways to get your dream clients and your customers. The first way is organic traffic. And traffic, essentially all it means is these are people, your dream clients online. So there's either organic way, or you could go pay for that traffic. That's paid traffic. So organic and paid. Organic essentially just means creating content, creating videos, blog articles, images, posts, anyway, any kind of value that you put out to the world to attract your dream clients and customers. That's organic. Paid is you pay Facebook or Google to tell Facebook and Google, hey, I would like these people to come to me. So you're paying for that position to place yourself in front of your dream clients and customers. So once you figure out, okay, so which one is it going to be? And how do you figure out which one you're going to do? If you have time, you're going to do organic. If you have money, you're going to do paid. I personally like paid because I could quickly test if something's going to work for me and whether whatever I'm offering is going to get me clients and customers. So I go focus on paid. So let's just play with that example. I tell Facebook, hey, Mr. Facebook, anybody who who is this type of person, let's just say who has an interest based on they're somebody from Brazil and they're exploring blog articles about this certain topic. And what is the blog topic? Let's just say they're exploring immigration. So that means U.S. immigration. So I'm going to tell Facebook, hey, go target these people in Brazil who are looking into topics about immigration to the U.S., and I'm going to place myself in front of those people. So that's basically done through an ad. Now when I get their ad, the very next step is I always want to grab their contact information up front, their email address, their name, and ideally, if I can, their phone number as well. So when I grab their email address, now I could follow up with them pretty much forever. At that point, when I grab the email address, what I typically want to do is and you need to nurture them. You need to basically build a relationship with these people, because these people who just came into your quote-unquote your funnel don't know you, they don't trust you, they have no idea who you are. So you have to basically through emails and through videos, you have to build that relationship over time. And then you basically, through these emails, you're bringing people in, and you're getting them to watch a certain video, and you're getting them to either book a time with you or to call you. So by doing that, again, you have to go first place an ad or create content, get those people in front of you, grab their email address, build a relationship with them through emails and videos, and then getting them to basically take your desired action, which is either usually book a call with you or to call you. That's simply what a funnel is.
Well, that's a lot of stuff there. Now, so what about the fact that you don't need to have a website? I mean, I don't understand. I thought you have to have a website. That's how you're going to get business. How can you have a business without having a website? And can you have so is that required or what?
Your website is kind of like your portfolio. It's just a way for someone to look you up to make sure that you're real, you're legit. But your website doesn't necessarily get you clients. And the reason why your website doesn't get you clients is because it's very has a lot of distractions, and it's not really focused. So it doesn't really tell your dream clients, hey, when you get into my website, become my client. Instead, a funnel is a very systemized ways to, again, grabbing their their contact information, their email address up front. I want to make sure I do whatever I can to get their contact information up front, because that's going to be very important for me to be able to use to build a relationship with them over time. If somebody just comes to your website, 99% of the time they're just going to come check you out and leave. Whereas the funnel, I'm going to grab their email address so that I could follow up with them for the next 6 to 12 months, so that when they are ready to take action, then at that point they trust me and know me well enough to want to take my desired action.
So when you're playing, you said that when you start this process out, that you're going to usually Facebook, and so I'm going to stick on Facebook. You're going to Facebook to determine who the audience is and how to find your dream clients. How do you do that?
So that's based on what your dream client's interests and demographics are. So for every niche, for every type of business, it's different. So that's where obviously you have to put in some work to figure out what those are. But you basically look up what are those top celebrities, what are those top blog articles, what are those different interests that your dream clients have. And the good news is Facebook actually offers those interests and those demographics. It's targetable. That means you could target specifically people who like Britney Spears. So so you could. It has very defined targeting that you can be able to use to your advantage to be able to target those people.
And you mentioned something about 6 to 12 months. So basically, are you saying that if you have somebody that responds to an ad and you've captured their email, you're going to go 6 to 12 months, or you're going to go forever? Because some people tell me, well, clients are so hard to attract, and you never know when they're going to need it. And maybe they spend 6 to 12 months saying, hey, I want to go on from Brazil to America, but it takes them 2, 3, 4 years. So do you limit yourself to 6 to 12 months, or is that just the heavy period where you think you're going to get them? Because I would think you could get a client even 3 years down the road.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mindset. It's a shift in mindset on your part that you're building systems to be kind of like a long-term minded instead of going for the kill or going for the ask too early. So it's just a mindset. That's the reason why I say 6 to 12 months. But for every business, it does have a different sales cycle. For every business, there's depending on the urgency or what the service is and what the offering is, it depends. For my service, the average sales cycle is 1 month. So from when they show interest that, hey, I'm interested in your service, it takes them on average 1 month to sign up for my service. That means sometimes they may take 2 weeks, sometimes they may take a couple of months, but on average 1 month. And that's usually the typical thing. It's usually a couple of weeks up to a couple of months for them to take action.
So when you use the word nurture the person, right? So somebody responds, hey, I'm in Brazil and I'm coming to America and I'm going to be looking for an immigration attorney, okay? And this can apply to anything. I mean, it could be some guy who just moved into a house in Valencia who wants to buy furniture, and it's a furniture store. I mean, it could apply to anything. But when you say nurture, what do you mean? Is it like call them up on the phone and talk to them? You're going to send them an email and have a conversation with them, or are you just going to send them information about whatever your product or service is?
So everybody acts differently. So you have to make sure to open up the doors to invite people in if they want to talk to you right away. But more often than not, I would say 95% of your dream clients, they need that more of that nurturing, kind of getting value from you, hearing from you multiple times, seeing your videos, seeing your face. So you typically want to build the systems to kind of be building those relationships through the emails and videos, but also open up the door, at least give them a opportunity. If they do want to talk to you right away in the first week, that's totally fine. Here's the link for you to book a time with me. So you're playing both games.
This is actually similar to a concept known as remarketing, only in the fact that instead of having an ad that follows them around, you're sending an email. It sounds very similar. Would that be a good analogy or no?
Yeah. All you do, I mean, the principle is you're increasing the touch points, you're increasing the number of times they see you and hear from you. So whether that be through emails or through retargeting ads, which is basically a way to tell Facebook and Google, hey, this person I know is interested in my service, has been to my website, so that must mean that he's interested. Go ahead and show him this ad. So anywhere you can to basically put yourself out there again, show in their face, and do it over and over and over again. The more times you do it, the more you increase your chance of them coming back to you and hiring you.
Now, if you don't have a website, how do you do this?
So I would say go learn about funnels. The best source for this, if you guys are interested, is ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels is one of the main softwares that teaches the whole funnel system. If you guys are interested in this, you just have to shoot me an email. I'm sure Patty will have my links, and we'll say how do you guys could contact me. I could put you guys in towards the right direction. But ClickFunnels is software that kind of that exposes you guys to these concepts. And you're able to learn more and apply these concepts.
Now, how does somebody build a funnel?
Sure. So that's where the education comes in. Either you go build you get somebody who already knows how to build one to build it for you, or you go learn how to create it for yourself. Usually, I would say, after being in this for 5 years, the fastest way to success is just to go get somebody who knows what they're doing to build it for you. Especially if it's in your niche. To just say, if you happen to be a lawyer, you get a lawyer expert to build a funnel for you. If you're some other type of professional, get somebody who does build funnels for exactly that type of business to create it for you.
Now, what about the technical part of it? I know people that, some people will go to Wix or some of these sites and try to build a site. Some people go out and, spend $100,000 to have some website built or whatever. How much technical background does somebody need to try to build a funnel? And some people are still asking questions. Well, I'm not sure I understand how this funnel concept works. So first answer the question, and then let's go through, how a funnel works a little bit.
Sure. So I would say, I guess, the best way, again, to get to that how is just go find somebody who's done it and either get their guidance from them or get them to build it for you. So I would not get into the trenches of dealing with the technicalities of it because, yes, it will slow you down and it could sometimes get technical. But the ClickFunnels does make it on the easier side, to get a funnel up and running and integrate everything and, deal with all the technicalities. But overall, I would say just go find somebody who's done it in the past for you, who has done it in the past, and build it for you as well.
So let's go over, because some people are still lighting up the switchboard and they're still confused with the whole funnel concept. They understand that a funnel is big at the top and very small at the bottom, and I'm guessing that the bottom piece is where the client or customer is, and I'm guessing the top part is the ad, but they don't understand the whole process. So let's go over what the process of a funnel is in general terms.
Sure. So I'll do my best to be general, but let's explain it. So there's three parts the way that I explain it. First is it's called traffic, which is, again, where your dream clients are online. So whether that be Facebook, Google, YouTube, that's what traffic is. So you have to be able to use one of those platforms to bring in people who are interested in resolving their problem or they need something from you. You need to place yourself in front of those places. That's the first part. The second part is the funnel.
So that would be through an ad or something, or how? What methods could you use to get that traffic?
Done through the two ways. Again, it's either through content, which is through videos, images, blog articles, things like that, or through ads, which is usually done through paid.
And that's the top part of the funnel, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's the very top of the funnel where you're bringing people in to now enter your funnel. And what entering a funnel means, people have shown interest. Hey, I'm interested in this thing, and I'm willing to give you my email address because I'm interested. And now once they give you their email address, they're at least shown interest. So that's where the funnel starts.
And do you typically give them something or no?
Not necessarily. You just have to promise that you could resolve their problem. So either you give off something, let's just say a guide, a video or something, or I would say the easier way is just you make a promise. Hey, I know you have this problem. I could resolve your solution, your problem for you.
Okay. So now they're in the top part of the funnel. You've gotten the traffic. You've got them into your system. I imagine there's some method that you're capturing their email address at that stage, correct?
Correct. And that's the way you do it is that the first page of your funnel is called a landing page. What a landing page is, it has one sole purpose and one sole purpose only, and that's to grab their email address. So this page that looks very simple page, all it does is just grabs their email address.
So here's a good question. Would you consider yourself to be successful if you capture a lot of people and a lot of people in the contact list, or are you only successful if you've got a lot of people that ended up signing up after the initial period?
Very good question. It's definitely It's usually people have an easy time with getting the email address. I think that part is like the easy part. Getting them to quote unquote convert, to go from, hey, I'm interested, to get into convincing them to go buy your service and product. That's where the magic comes from. That's where over time you got to figure out exactly who your audience is, what they need, what questions do they have, so you can address those things inside of your funnel so that you increase your chance of them hiring you.
Okay, so let's go back. We have about another minute, and then we're going to have to take a break. So let's just first go part of the process. You're collecting their contact information and your dream clients, per se. Now the next steps are what? To send a series of emails to them over time and hope that they become clients?
Yeah, videos, emails, any way that you can increase those touch points so that they trust you and they see your face and hear from you.
And do you wait for them to reach out to you, or are you just sending the emails on an automated basis?
Yeah, the emails are automatically sent whenever I grab their email address, and these emails are being sent on a daily, weekly basis. And people that are interested usually reply back to emails and say, okay, I have questions. And through that email conversation, you engage them and get them closer to offering your offer.
Well, you're listening to KHTS 1220 and 98.1 FM. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Sam is going to explain to us what percentage of people that actually reach his funnel typically will become clients, and what methods you could use to increase those odds.
The best live theater can be found right here in the Santa Clarita Valley. The Canyon Theater Guild has been entertaining audiences for decades with top-quality musicals and plays. Located on Main Street in Old Town Newhall, CTG also offers workshops for the young actor in your family. For more information, call the box office at 799-2702 or go online to canyontheater.org.
Who says nothing good happens after midnight? Denny's is best known for their breakfast served round the clock, like the Grand Slam. But you can enjoy breakfast, lunch, or dinner in a casual atmosphere 24/7. At Denny's, the lunch and dinner menu has a variety of appetizers, craveable burgers, salads, and entrees, along with the best desserts in town. Wherever you live in Santa Clarita, there's a Denny's close by. If you're pulling an all-nighter or don't feel like cooking, get into Denny's today. Good stuff is happening at Denny's.
The coronavirus has put us in a position of creating a new normal. Family Law at Home understands. Their goal is to meet you in the safest place possible, and these days that might be in your own home in a virtual meeting. Family Law at Home will provide you with immediate advice on your family law matters, such as divorce cases, child custody disputes, and domestic violence. It's as easy as going to FamilyLawAtHome.com. You'll choose your own consultation date and be in immediate contact with one of their esteemed attorneys. Family Law at Home handles the legal aspect while you and your family navigate the new chapter in your lives. Go to FamilyLawAtHome.com.
It's like no other station I've ever listened to. It's great.
Your hometown station.
Welcome. You're listening to KHTS 1220 and 98.1 FM. This is the Ask Brien Radio Show. Brien is spelled with an E because the only way to spell Brien is B-R-I-E-N, and it's AskBrien.com. We have a very good show today, and our guest is Sam Malay. Sam, you there? Did you go deaf?
Yep.
What happened? Okay, he's there. So, we were discussing right before, and we had, Mr. Engineer, where's your drum roll?
Actually, let me pull up a drum roll right here. Give me one sec.
This is really flaking out now.
Yeah, let me get there 1 sec. I'm actually got to pull it up. Drum.
This is amateur hour at the.
I got one right here. Do you want me to play it?
Yeah.
All right.
And the percentage of conversion for a funnel is
2%. 2%. That means 2 out of 100 people that are interested in your product or service are usually going to take action on buying your service or product, which is actually, I would say that's actually very enlightening and actually very, I don't know, for me, it gives me confidence and makes me happy because that means I only have to convince 2 out of 100 people to buy my service and I'll still be doing really well. So yeah, typical conversion rate, 2%.
Now, does it matter the price? I mean, I would think, if you're buying something for $1, you're buying something for $10,000, I would think the percentage would be different.
It doesn't depend on the price. It depends on your offer. So everything comes down to how good your offer is and how much people are willing to exchange to resolving their problem, how much of their money they're willing to exchange for your offer. So it really comes down to offer, and it's really different for everybody, for every different kind of niche. It's something you just have to go and get into the trenches and try it out and see what works best.
Now, because we're going to be going off the air in a few minutes, we want to go over. So Sam is the CEO of LegalFunnel.com, and if somebody wants to reach you, they go to LegalFunnel.com. How would they reach you?
Yeah, just go to LegalFunnel.com. I basically have a coaching program and also do build funnels for very specific types of lawyers. If you're an attorney and you're kind of intrigued by these concepts, you're looking to build an online law firm that gets you clients 24/7 around the clock, that's fully automated and scalable, definitely reach out. It's, again, LegalFunnel.com, or you could also email me at sam@LegalFunnel.com.
And even though you are a lawyer and you're creating a program for lawyers, a funnel technically could work for any business owner, and whether or not it's a product or a service, they would have, obviously, your funnel is geared towards lawyers, but it could technically work for anyone in any product or any service. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yes, it applies to every type of product or service that you could think of. If you guys are interested in these concepts, just check out ClickFunnels. It's the best source to be able to understand these concepts. They have an amazing Facebook group. They have amazing offers, especially their books. Any books that they offer, like .com Secrets or some other books that they offer, is absolutely great. It's just I would say if you guys are interested in these topics, just to go read up on .com Secrets. That really explains all these concepts to you guys.
Now, for our listeners that they create a funnel. Now, how long of a process is it typically for somebody to go from, okay, I visited your Facebook and to actually become a client or customer? Is it typically 30 days, a week, immediately, 3 months down the road? What's the typical time period that takes to nurture a client from A to Z?
So it really depends on your specific offering, but usually you expect at least a couple of weeks to a couple of months. There are a certain percentage of your audience that are willing to take immediate action. So, you still want to leave the opportunities for them to take action. But expectation on average is a couple of weeks to a couple of months.
Now, I would think it would be different. Like, for instance, if you have a DUI, right, you got to go to court in the next 3 weeks, or an eviction, you have to go to trial within 3 weeks, normally, not during the moratorium right now, that those people probably would have to either sign up pretty quickly or you're not going to hear from them. So obviously, I think it does matter if it's an exigent circumstance where, I have a court date in 2 weeks, or I have, the eviction trials in 2 weeks. I don't think they can wait 3 or 4, although I've had clients that have done that. And there's not a lot you can do for those people. Now, how many years have you been operating this now?
For 5 years, pretty much completely. Yep. For 5 years, I've pretty much been in the trenches applying it for myself. And the cool thing is I see a lot more entrepreneurs and a lot of other people kind of being interested in understanding these concepts of funnels. And the thing is, these principles are not going to go away. They're always going to be here. This is the way to basically be able to get customers and clients online. So if you're interested about these concepts, learn about it as soon as possible, because the market will gradually get more and more saturated and more competitive.
Well, and that's another good question. So if you have many, many competitors, I imagine it's got to be much more difficult to compete, right? I mean, if there's 25 or 50 in your area doing the same exact thing that you're doing, and they've all got funnels, it's going to be a lot tighter to get clients. And if it's 1 or 2 people in a specific area.
I would say it's kind of like right now we're in the housing market of the 80s. So it's still a good time. So get in on it as early as you can.
Well, the housing market's always going to be good no matter what you do. So we're going to be heading to the show is going to be over in about 30 seconds. But before we get there, if you had to tell a business owner something that they could do, what would be your number one secret to tell people?
The number one secret of succeeding online is to focus in on a niche. You have to just focus on that niche. So go find a very specific type of people that you can serve, and just go build an offer for those people, and just focus on that one specific niche.
Well, thank you very much. You're listening to KHTS 1220 and 98.1 FM. You've been listening to the Ask Brien radio show, and we'll see everybody next week. Have a great week. Stay safe, and if you wear a mask if you can. If you don't want to wear a mask, I understand. But do what you can, the best you can.